This is shoulder internal rotation holds plus pails and rails. We want to get into a position where we can hold at the maximal end range of internal rotation. So you can do this sitting in a chair using a table, or sitting on the floor using a chair to rest your upper arm on. I like to get, if this is straightforward, or we'll say 90 degrees forward from your torso, I like to be out a little bit, closer to 45 degrees out from the front, with the upper arm about parallel to the floor. From there, you want to make sure as you go through this rotation motion that your shoulder doesn't roll up into your ear. So you do want to consciously keep your shoulder pulled down. So here we go. Elbow rested. I'm going to let my arm internally rotate until it hits the end range. So I get stopped naturally right about here. Now, in order to challenge that end range, I'm going to take my hand and lightly push towards the floor until I feel resistance. And as I apply this resistance with my opposite hand, keeping my shoulder pulled down, I feel tension develop deep in the posterior aspect of my shoulder joint. And that's where we want it to be. We don't really want it in the front. If you feel pinching or a bunching up sensation in the front, then you can adjust your torso or your arm further out to the side to kind of help alleviate this and get the focus of your tension in the back of the shoulder. So back into the position. Once you feel that stretch, this is our hold. We want to stay here for 2 minutes minimum. And during that entire 2 minutes, you may feel that you can slowly kind of get a little deeper into the range of motion. That's normal. That's fine. Let that happen. Take up that space as it comes to you. You just want to make sure that you are sustaining nonstop the tension in the back of the shoulder for the duration of your 2 minutes. From here, I'm going to go ahead and progress forward to pails and rails. If you need to pause the video to make sure you get your 2-minute hold, do so now, but do not come out of the stretch before going to your pails and rails. You go from one right into the other. So pails contraction. Pails, we're flexing all the stuff that's getting stretched. So that means with the muscles of my shoulder, I'm going to try to rotate out of this stretch. My opposite hand's going to block it in place. I'm going to start off light on a scale of 1 to 10 at a 1. And then I'm going to try to push harder out of the stretch to a 2. And I'm going to build it up to a 3, a 4, a 5, 6, 7, 8. This is where you should start to get shaky. 9, 10 is you're trying to rotate out for as hard as you possibly can, holding it for 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gradually relax back to 0. Now, rails. I'm going to use the muscles of my shoulder, but now I'm going to flex all the stuff that's not being stretched. So I'm going to try to actively rotate further into the stretch. You can see I was able to pull my hand away from my stabilizing hand, holding it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reapply your stabilizing hand, but make sure that you don't back out of the range that you just gained. You can take about 10 to 20 seconds to relax again and kind of calm down from your pails and rails, but then you're going to repeat that for another cycle. The number of cycles through pails and rails following a hold is dependent on what your coach prescribes for you for this position.